Hi there, and welcome to part 2 of our Formicid Abyssal night. We're sitting at the entrance to the lair. We had some major difficulties getting down here. We got shafted in the last episode to insane depths, and somehow we got out alive. Can't believe I did it, actually, but somehow I did it. So, right now, I was thinking about going down there, although the lack of poison resistance is a bit spooky, yet still we're sitting at dungeon level 10. It's not gonna get easier if I go down to dungeon 11 or 12, yet still there's the option of going into the Orcish mines down there. That could be a bit more easy to achieve since I'm already, still lacking magic resistance. I'm not too sure if it would be really easier. But until then, we're gonna stick our heads into the lair for now and see how we can manage. There's the first moccasin. I'm really having some trouble hitting it and lost a lot of my HP due to the poison. Carrying around a few curing potions, so I'm not instantly screwed if anything bad happens down here. So some more identification scrolls. Our potion stack is getting more and more identified, so let's check out this new ring. It's a ring of fire. That's not too interesting, but not too bad either. We can pump up our fire resistance to 2 pips with that. That might come in handy at some point. So there's our first spiny frog. That's one of the enemies that's really bad to take on without resistance to poison, so we got our first snack here for insane 28 HP at once. So I'm also pretty hard poisoned here. So let's banish this frog and sit out in this corner until we're healed up again. Another moccasin coming in. I'm gonna banish this immediately too. So that's only one spiny frog torturing us so hard. But luckily we're Ic0n followers and I'm unable to banish everything that gets into my face too hard. And I'm gonna drop dodging for now to focus harder on the long blades and really need to get my attack delay a bit better to kill these poisonous enemies a bit quicker. But if stuff goes on like that, I'm gonna burn through my piety down here pretty quickly. So speaking of burning piety, there's my first Hydra going on. I have a 57% chance to banish it, and I'm wielding a scimitar of flaming, so this could work out, since this sword removes with every hit 1 head from the Hydra, which means the attacks per turn of the Hydra get reduced with every swing I can take in. So actually the spiny frog was way more dangerous than the Hydra. That's something that doesn't happen to me too often actually. So there's the first Komodo dragon. These have a lot of damage too, but he didn't hit us, so we got lucky. Porcupines have a high retaliation damage. That's not too dangerous here. Still increasing my strength. And there goes a player ghost. It's a berserker, a minotaur berserker, able of hitting us for a 38 damage per swing. That's really a lot. I could banish him with a 40% chance, but for now I'm gonna fall back, heal up, and think about how to deal with this 2-headed ogre. I don't have my lamp of fire available, yet still I could try to confuse him. Maybe I'm lucky and he falls into the deep water and drowns. Stupid ogre. Deep water is easy to abuse with confusion. And there goes the player ghost. I have might potions and agility potions at my disposal, so that was actually not too well played. I'm gonna go back up. Quaff might potion and some agility potion. I really want to have these buffs up before I go down. And again, I'm getting hit brutally by this guy as soon as I show my face downstairs. And we're at 30 HP now. That's enough for him to kill us with 1 swing, so I'm going into a heal wounds potion here. And for now, I'm gonna blink some to get some distance between me and this ghost. I'm gonna lightning him, but that doesn't do too much. So we're healing again, and that's not enough to bring him to survive another hit. So I'm gonna go for another round of lightning. Blink again, more lightning. That was wrong. More blinks, more blinks. I really want to have as much distance between me and him. And luckily there's a teleport trap to shake off this Hydra. But apparently we're absolutely not able to kill this guy, so we're taking a very risky way up. Luckily we survived. I'm gonna hide behind that corner here until we're healthy again, and I think I'm gonna delay my exploration of the lair a bit. This doesn't work out at all. This player ghost will be sitting around there and menacing us more, so I'm gonna go for Dungeon 11 now and come back later before anything too bad happens here, because I think for now other options are safer to take. So Troll and the Bullfrog. It's a bit unlucky that I hit a Berserker, Minotaur Berserker's player ghost. These are really tough people. And I'm really lucky my run didn't end here prematurely, because I kinda misplayed the situation. Should have fled a lot earlier against this player ghost. And right now I can't enter the lair again because he will stick to my heels as long as he's sitting around this staircase. So there goes a glowing great mace and a hornet. That's very spooky. Let's see how are our chances to enslave it. Not too good, but I really want to try if I can disable this thingy, and I did. It's gonna attack this hound for me, and now I'm gonna do I have recharging scrolls? Yes I do. Let's recharge this lightning wand, and this is not nice to do, but I'm a Lugonu follower. I'm not nice. I don't need to be nice. I can lightning my ally here and miss it several times. Okay, so this doesn't work out, so I'm gonna send this hornet retreating, and let's see if it comes back. And I feel a bit more experienced for some reason. I don't know why. I think the hornet might have killed something while still enslaved to me. That could be the reason. But for now we're gonna go for other directions and see if we can make anything happen here. So there's an Orc Warrior. I'm gonna try to enslave him as well. So 3 uses later, nothing happened. 4 uses later, nothing happened. So let's take a few swings. Obviously I'm able to survive him a bit. So there's the entrance to the Orcish Mines. That's really good. I really need to be careful down there, but I'm gonna try if I can get a few more XP down there. We found a scroll of enchant armor and a scroll of blinking. Normally blinking scrolls are very valuable tools, but for a Formicid they're just useless. Can't do anything with those. So there's a bunch of killer bees, and I'm gonna lignify again into that. It's my last use of lignification. It's a bit sad still, but better than getting beaten up by some bees, I think. So what I really need right now is a better shield, because the buckler is really not too good. And I also need to increase my rating in long blades so the scimitar gets more viable for us. Let's check the spells we got. I got Shroud of Galubria and Regeneration. Both very useful spells in their own means. Yet still I don't feel like I can afford to level up spellcasting right now. So there's a 2-headed ogre standing in front of me, standing behind this troll. And that's something I really need to take seriously, so I'm gonna blink away from him for now. And then I'm gonna try to banish him. It's a 75% chance, and I feel like this 2-headed ogre can smack me down pretty easily, and that's nothing I want to risk here. I want to win this. So, more bees incoming. That's a bit sad. We're sitting on 2 potions of curing here. I think I'm gonna drop in my potion of agility to have more riposte attacks against these guys. There goes another troll and a hungry ghost, but these don't deal too much damage, so this imp keeps throwing explosive tomahawks at me. It's a bit obnoxious. So I'm gonna kite back into some area where I can safely fight this hungry ghost. I'm starving, so I need to eat some. Again, starving. So, yeah. I never ran into any situation where these hungry ghosts really got dangerous for me, but I'm always afraid of that one turn too much and actually starving against these guys. It never happened to me, but I'm always a bit concerned that it might happen one day. But not today. So let's enter this area. And so far it looks like dungeon is a lot safer to take. Picking up these killer bees one by one. But apparently we're able to hit them pretty decently with the Scimitar of Flaming here. There goes our first ugly thing. I'm gonna step around this corner, and it's ice damage, and I have a 75% of banishing it, so I'm gonna try if I can kill it. And obviously we're good to go against these. That's nice. If you're able to kill your first ugly thing pretty easily, you're probably safe to venture forth into the dungeon, because these things are really one of the major threats as you delve deeper into the dungeon. Another pack of killer bees. But apparently we don't need lignification anymore to kill them off. Speaking of that, and then taking 25 damage from one single bee while killing off 3 without taking a scratch. Gotta love the randomness. An unseen horror. Again, these are only pretty dangerous if you're not able to see invisible. If you happen to fall into a situation like these, some narrow hallway like that helps out a lot to force them into some swings you can take, because their HP is very low, so a few lucky hits and they're done. But if your AC is considerably low, these unseen horrors can get really dangerous. So there's a second ugly thing. I'm gonna see how far I can kite it. They're a bit faster than player, so kiting these on 2 long routes is pretty dangerous. And well, the first one went pretty good. The second one was a disaster, so I'm banishing this one before it gets too dangerous here. I have no more healing potions left, so gotta take measures more early here before I get into a sticky situation I can't escape from. Other characters can always rely on blinking and teleportation scrolls, but that's nothing you can do as a Formicid. Yet still the Lugonu blink is kind of a workaround, and somehow I feel it's even a bit wrong that it works, since blinking is totally blocked for this race, and for some reason Lugonu works. But, well, it's an Abyssal goddess. Can do stuff that's impossible, I think that's fair to say. So I'm instantly banishing this 2-headed ogre here. I'm not too fond of taking these in melee, considering a 1-headed ogre can kill me to 50%. Chances are 2-headed will manage to do 100%. So Lugonu provides a lot of safety for the transition from early into mid-game, with the banishment, the blinking, and even the floor corruption can get in very handy, because it will spawn a lot of abyss dwellers, which are partially aggressive actually. So there's a first Cyclops, easy to kill. A few of the critters you summon with the corruption will be aggressive towards you, so it's always a better idea to get away as fast as possible. Normally you take a blinking scroll for that, or a teleportation scroll, but again those are options which are not open for us. But if there are enough enemies around when you do the floor corruption, most of the aggressive baddies will also turn on other enemies and leave you go. At least that worked out every time I tried that out, but it's a skill you don't want to use lightly. So there's an electric eel. I want to pull him as close as I can before fighting him. Proceeding with this one as well. And there goes the first gargoyle. So let's check. They're not resistant to fire, so my scimitar should do full damage here. Gargoyles have always a high armor class rating. There's some portion of water here. Bigger portion as it seems, and this electric eel might get nasty. So I'm gonna kite this back. Don't want to be stuck between a hungry ghost and an electric eel. I'm gonna pick up another potion of heal wounds here. That's always relieving to have one of those in your pack. A Wyvern. These are able to pack quite a punch, but obviously my damage is high enough by now to kill them off quickly enough. So I'm gonna focus this eel here, and afterwards the unseen horror. Taking a lot of damage here again. Another hippogriff. Let's take him down. There we go. So we're at D12 now, and I think about only clearing this level and then sticking my head into Orc 1 at least. Don't think I want to go for Orc 2 yet. Okay, so there's a bunch of baddies here, and I'm gonna banish this Hornet since it can paralyze and slow me, and there is a lot of pressure here hanging around. Don't want to risk getting paralyzed or slowed in a bad situation. So Centaur pack, and a lot of electric eels around that corner, so I want to fight at this corner where they can't shoot their lightning bolts after me. Taking some damage here, but I think I should be fine. Okay, so that's done. And there go the electric eels. I'm gonna dig myself through this here to have a nice corner to hide behind. Force them to get closer. Kill one. And I think I can kill the second one too without dying. Yeah. Okay, so let's head back, regenerate back up, and proceed. Okay, so there's another bunch of yak, but that's exactly the type of enemy I want to see here to get my long blades a bit better and level up my other skills to have a chance against this player ghost on layer 1. And yeah, gotta admit the decision making on this player ghost was really bad from my side. I shouldn't have taken this fight like that. Almost died on that. And speaking of almost dying, there's a water elemental rushing in. And it's a magic immune, which means I can't banish it. I'm gonna kite back, but since I'm wielding a fire-branded weapon, my damage was really decent. I think they should be vulnerable to fire. So 2 electric eels. I'm gonna banish the second one because I already took a lot of lightning damage here. They're always a bit obnoxious to deal with. Okay. And I'm a bit generous here with my Lugonu piety, but better use the piety than be dead with a full piety bar. That's at least my motto here. So another yak pack. I'm really happy these guys show up so much. They're basically free XP. Yet still, I always take some damage from these. Some vampire mosquitoes. Let's see how this works out for us. They're pretty obnoxious because they heal up with all the damage they do to you. So maybe gotta banish the last one, but no. We were able to take them down properly. That makes me pretty happy. So more electric eels. These are really abundant on this floor, and this makes the exploration of all these water areas pretty dangerous. So there's a rendered ringmail. Let's try that out. It's +5, but it's MR minus. That's something I definitely don't want to wear right now. I'm rather looking for an MR plus here somewhere. Let's dig through here. Okay. So we're very hungry by now. Let's eat some. There's a food shop lying around, so I'm not scared of starving in this game here. So there's a two-headed ogre, and for the first time it's not red here on the sidebar. So I think I'm gonna try to take in a few swings at this guy, and yeah, pretty easy kill by now. Yet still I think it was a wise decision to banish so many of these, as long as they were shown as dangerous enemies. And there's more electric eel going around here, so I think I should be done with these by now though. This floor is also finished, I think. Yeah. So let's stick our head into the Orcish mines, at least for level 1. Simple ogre kill. Not ogre, troll to go. And we're at Orc 1. Some baddies rushing towards us. I'm gonna go upstairs to shake off the smiting damage of the priest. And I'm gonna kill the priest first, even before the ogre. Because I feel like I should be safer by now. Okay, so there's another orc pack, accompanied by a fighter. But they die pretty quickly too. And my long blade skill's getting better slowly. Finally my attack speed went below 1 turn per attack. And that's the point where you start being efficient as a fighter, when your attack delay drops below 1 turn per attack. So more baddies rushing in. I'm gonna dig into this corner to deny some spaces from the enemies. And I really like that about Formicids, that you get all these drawbacks as a Formicid. But the digging is a very good thing to have, so I'm gonna dig around this corner too. I'm pretty safe here from the Orcish High Priest. High Priests are basically not much more dangerous than a normal priest, but their ability to summon demons is the thing which makes them really dangerous. But when you're standing in a corner like this with no free tiles surrounding you, their ability to summon demons is pretty harmless, because all demons will spawn behind the priest and they have no line of sight with me, so everything is pretty fine. Not so fine is the situation with this Orc Knight around me. I want to kite this back a bit, because Orc Knights can bring up might buff for their allies, which makes little orcs not so much more dangerous, but the warriors really get dangerous by that. And I'm really having some trouble killing this guy, so I'm gonna try to lightning the rest of him. That lightning wand is sapped out. That lightning wand is also sapped out. So we're gonna blink again and recharge a lightning wand, and I think I should be able to zap him down. There we go. So obviously I'm lacking some defense or offense against Orcish Knights yet, and they're wearing plate armor. But the Ic0n blink is really saving me a lot here, since I'm able to play around one of my racial weaknesses pretty decently here. Also, the blink doesn't cost too much piety, so it's a very available resource as a Ic0n follower. Alright, so let's proceed here. Another two-headed ogre. I'm gonna pull him here. So let's regenerate back up. There's a weapon store here, which I really want to check out. And this orc has a short sword of speed, nothing I'm too afraid of. But around so many orcs, I really want to keep an eye out for the branding stave wheel. So what do we have here? The Scimitar of Thoughtfulness. +8, slicing, but resist fire -. That's not too cool, but on the other hand, it's a +8 scimitar. And as long as there are no fire baddies around, this is very nice. Yet still I'm lacking some ring of resistance to fire. And we're having this layout where the Orcish Mines level 1 is divided into 3 portions, so I'm gonna magic map this and dig right here, so I can enter the other areas without needing to enter Orc 2, because I feel like I'm not ready yet to clear out Orc 2. Yet still, we're doing pretty fine here for Orc 1. It was only this Orcish Knight which made some trouble, but I could have also have banished him if I really liked to. But I avoid banishing as much as possible because you will only get 50% of the XP an enemy provides when you banish him. And especially with really dangerous enemies, you're cutting your rewards with that. So it's always kind of a risk-reward scenario you want to think about if it's worth the risk taking it down, or if it's safer to bail out with 50% reward and stay alive. Well, I mean, staying alive is certainly something good to achieve. So we're done with Orc 1 here, and I have enough money to afford this +8 Scimitar, and I think I'm actually gonna go for that. Like I said, as long as there are no fire enemies around, this is pretty safe to wield. And I wanted to stick my head into Orc 2, so there's another Minotaur player Ghost, this time a fighter, with a similar amount of damage potential, and a Rolcha. So nope, not yet. It's way too early to take a fight like that. Could take the other staircases, but with Rolcha around I want to really be a bit more careful about the situation. So I'm gonna rename my items here to A and B, so I can swap them out pretty quickly. And let's check all these items I'm carrying around. I don't need the whip and the hand axe anymore. I'm gonna stick to the greatsword and this longsword, because they're still pretty useful options. I don't think I want to use the +1 longsword on a player Ghost though. It might be holy damage, but well, it's only a +1 weapon, and the Scimitar is the bigger brother of a longsword, so the base damage is much higher when you're wielding a longsword, so I don't feel like I really want to rely on this holy longsword too much. So poison is still a big issue for me, and I'm really thinking about how to pick up some sort of poison resistance here. There are still some unidentified armors I could try out, but they're all less protective than the thing I'm wearing here, so I'm not too sure if this would be a good idea. So there's a mini vault which features some undead, so I'm gonna go into this corner where there's only enemy at once for me. That's way safer to take them down. So let's try out this new +8 Scimitar. There's no fire enemies around. So, new scroll. It's a scroll of acquirement. That's pretty lucky. And considering that my weaponry options here are pretty okay, I'm gonna go for some armor item, and yeah, we got a big upgrade. We got a +0 buckler of positive energy here. Wow. This acquirement scroll was really a letdown here, but it's okay. We got a ring of protection from fire out of this vault, which is way more useful than the buckler actually. And we got a scroll of brand weapon, so let's brand this great sword, which turned into a great sword of flaming. That's really nice to have, because this is gonna be my major upgrade as soon as I have enough skill level to wield it. So this vault was really worth going down to D13. Book of Enchantments, those spells in there are really useful, but they're way too difficult to cast for me. So there goes the first vampire. That's a bit spooky if you're not able to see invisible, but with the ability to see invisible, vampires are not that dangerous. Their main trick evolves around turning invisible and biting you. So, pair of boots, which turned out to be a regular +1 pair of boots. It's pretty good because I was lacking boots so far. And we're still lacking some amulet. nothing was to be found here. As far as I remember, it was only this magic regeneration amulet and an amulet in the lair, which I couldn't pick up for obvious reasons. There's glowing plate armor. I mean, let's try this out. It's a plate armor of fire resistance. So it's AC 23, and the scale armor is only AC 19. So I think I'm gonna swap. Even if I'm losing some evasion rating here, I really feel more comfortable with the high general damage reduction a plate armor provides, because this thing will cut a few persons of all incoming physical damage from me. And I think with all these items set up, I should be able to enter the lair by now. Yet still, the resistance from poison is something I'm lacking. But with all this equipment options, I think I should be able to go for lair by now. So there's a centaur pack accompanied by some slime creatures. It's certainly nothing to take lightly. These slime creatures can pack a lot of damage here, especially if they merge like that. So I think I'm gonna banish this baddie here, pick up the double slime that's dangerous enough, but a quadra slime can easily kill me here. So the banishing got rid of 4 slimes at once here, so talk about value of a single skill use. Okay, so Dungeon 13 turns out to be a lot more dangerous than the previous floors. But we're done here already. So let's go to the lair and check if this badass Minotaur ghost is still around there. Too bad I didn't pick up a better shield from this acquirement scroll. It would be really useful if I would have gotten an upgrade there, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. It's not the end of the world here. So the player ghost roamed further away from the stairs. I was hoping that this might happen if I leave this area alone for a while. But there he is again, ready for another fight with me. So this time I'm gonna again put up the potion of might, because I really feel like I need it. I need to kill this guy as fast as I can. But with a +8 weapon, my chances of hitting him went way better than the last time, and we won this fight pretty easily this time. Didn't even use a heal wounds potion. I think I was a bit too eager here, taking this guy down when I ran into him the first time. But that's okay, stuff like that happens. An Oklop plant guarding a altar of Ic0n. I have a ring of resist corrosion available, so I can take down the Oklop, but I'm a bit reluctant to do so. Oklop plants can get really dangerous. So, next spiny frog. This time we took him down with ease. The +8 scimitar does a lot of good things here, but it won't be helpful against this Hydra. Actually, it would only make things worse, giving it more and more heads. So I'm swapping over to the flaming scimitar here and start slashing, reducing the heads and killing it off pretty decently. So I'm still focusing long blades, and I think I'm gonna stick to that, because I really want to make that greatsword usable rather sooner than later. And we're sitting on a scroll of enchant armor, but somehow I don't see any items which I really want to enchant as soon as possible, so I'm piling these up a bit until some item shows up I really want to use. Spiny frog number 3 took some damage, but it's nowhere close to the last experience I had with these. So I think we're now properly equipped taking on the lair. Yet still I have to be really careful about these poisonous enemies here. So there's a big portion of water hanging around here. So I can dig around the corner here and create another pathing to this stash of items here. So Formicid things, you know. It's a -3 ring of evasion. That's nothing I want to keep. Let's put up this amulet. It's an amulet of faith. Don't feel like that's too useful either, but for now I'm gonna keep it because it's a chance to be very reckless with my God-given skills, because my piety will recharge pretty quickly, so I think that's a good thing to take for now. Gonna stick with the Ring of Resist Corrosion for now, and now I feel like trying to take down this Oklub. I wouldn't if I had no Ring of Resist Corrosion available, but with this ring I'm feeling pretty confident being able to kill this thing. So let's check. We got the resistance from corrosion up. I'm gonna dig through these to shorten the pathing towards this plant, and got it chopped down pretty easily here. Okay, that's layer 1 done. Let's go downstairs and proceed a bit. There's a bunch of yak on my tail here, so we're kiting this situation to another point where it's safer to fight. Spiny frog coming in, but yeah, this feels a lot better than the first visit here. And I think we should be able to clear this area out without too many problems. Still a bit interested about how I'm gonna manage with death yak and all other more dangerous denizens of the lair, elephants and stuff like that, and which ending we get here. Also gonna be pretty interesting. So there's another scroll of magic mapping, pretty happy to find those. Scroll of ancient weapon, that's also really useful, but I'm not gonna use it yet on my greatsword, because chances are I'm gonna find some nice triple sword along the way, which I can enchant too. And if I use all my enchant weapon scrolls and then a better weapon shows up, well, it's a bit obnoxious. So Ic0n is at the point where she wants to brand me a weapon. She will give me a distortion brand. Normally that's one thing you don't want to get, but as a Formicid I don't have the drawbacks of any other race, considering distortion. I can't get teleported around when I'm wielding it. And we finally found a plate armor of poison resistance. I'm gonna call it the lair armor, because apart from the lair I don't think I will stick to this plate armor too much. But for now, it's really exactly the kind of thing I want to have. So there we go. The rest of the lair should be pretty breezy here. There go the first elephants. Let's have a look how the situation evolves. So they're taking a while to bring down, but I'm taking not too much damage from them. So I'm gonna swap the staircase here. Don't want to be surrounded by elephants when I go downstairs, since they can push me off stairs. Well, if something bad joins in, this could be dangerous. So rather avoid this kind of situation and take the fight from a different angle. Bunch of wolves. That's really nothing to worry about anymore. They're only dangerous if you're featuring low armor class and getting swarmed by these. So there's a basilisk with the 24% of petrifyingness. It's actually pretty much, but yeah, we're pretty fine here. Because even if I got petrified there, they had no chance of surrounding me at this point, so I was pretty confident taking this fight. Book of Flames, pretty useful spells in there, but I don't think I want to pick these up for this character. I'm more looking for a translocation book to pick up Shroud of Gulubria. No, not Shroud. Passage of Gulubria, because that's also a mobility option which works for Formicids. I can take this little portal thingy. It's not blocked by my racial traits. I'm putting down the auto pickup on a lot of items here because I don't want to cram my inventory too hard. So these spiders show me that I'm having a spider lair branch on this run. And at this point I'm really happy that I found a poison resistance item here. So maybe this armor is not only the lair armor but also the spider lair armor. but well, it's more an addition of the same theme and a completely different thing. So taking down these pretty easily. The +8 scimitar in this shop really made a huge difference for us here. Because the +8 means also we're having a huge bonus of hit ability. So there's a Merfolk Siren standing back there. And if I didn't find that poison resistance armor back there, the situation would have been really spooky with a Black Mamba swooping in, spiders, a lot of poison damage, and I can't run away from that Siren. That's really lucky we got that poison resistance up. So let's swap over to the Flaming Scimitar for the Hydra. There we go. Okay. Looks like the rest of the lair is safe for us, so I'm really happy that the early problems we had in this run slowly come to an end. Again, magic resistance is lacking, but it will come sooner or later, I hope. So let's step over here, lure the basilisk around the corner. I think those basilisks are one thing I gotta keep an eye out for. A scarf, let's check that out. So we got interrupted while changing gear. And here we go. It's a Scarf of Spirit Shield. That's nothing I want to keep. I want to keep my magic points here. And the +1 bonus on my cloak. Which is actually right now, well, I rely on armor class. If it would have been a nice Scarf of Resistance here, I think I would have kept it. Because resistance to fire and cold at once is really useful. Whoops, took a wrong swing at this Hydra. Made 5 heads out of 4. But that's not too problematic here. More Hydras coming in. And that's 3 Hydra in a rapid succession. I wonder if that means we're getting closer to some sort of vault or something like that. There's a bunch of Dream Sheep. I'm really happy they didn't notice me while the Hydra were around. Because Dream Sheep and Hydra are a very, very nasty combination. Getting into sleep while Hydras are standing beside you and biting you is certainly a fate which can end deadly. Speaking of deadly, this corner really doesn't provide too much safety for me. There's a lot of enemies swarming around here, so I'm gonna go upstairs with the few remaining hit points I have and kill the wolves up here. And head back here with full HP. It's a lot better, I think. So by now, we're sitting at a decent rating of Longblades. It's only 2 points more until I hit the min delay for the Scimitar. And I think I'm going to put it up to normal training by now. And put up some dodging training again as well. Because since we're going for Longblades for the whole game, some dodging training is always some good idea. And eventually I want to swap over to some lighter armor to get some more evasion buff, but it strongly relies on my loot here. So speaking of loot, there's a +1 shield of protection that beats my acquirement scroll loot. Okay. Don't want to be too mopey about that acquirement scroll though. The rest of the stuff in this vault really helped me a lot for this game. So. Acquirement scrolls are always a bit of a gamble. Sometimes you get really nothing at all, and sometimes you get a jackpot which helps you until the end of the game. That's always different. So there goes Snork. Snork is a very powerful troll boss, and I wonder if I want a Might. I have 4 potions of Might on me, so let's do this. Snork will always go berserk at some point, and we could see how much damage went into us on this point. A Phial of Floods, it's really nice to have. Phials of Floods are really useful tools for against spellcasters. Another Scroll of Black Brand Weapon. That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna keep that up for later. But for now I'm really happy with the Flaming Brand on my greatsword. I don't want to rebrand that. yet. Rather wait for some better opportunity. More Komodos, but so far we're dealing pretty well with these. We're close to the bottom of the lair now, and gonna be keeping an eye out for more dangerous enemies appearing here, and more dangerous uniques especially. Spiny frog. 2 of them to be exactly, but yeah. Their danger went low by now. So, Scroll of Vulnerability, that's really nothing I want to keep. It's only useful if you're relying on hexes or other stuff. Yet still, no, that's not true. It should improve my banishment chances here. So I'm gonna stick to these. And my inventory is pretty full by now, so I'm gonna drop the... what am I gonna drop? I don't need 2 Wands of Lightning here. I don't want to have Confusion because I have Enslavement already. I'm actually gonna swap Enslavement for the Paralysis Wand, and yeah, that's good. We have some more inventory slots back. That's all we need for now. And there goes a croc. And go downstairs. There we go, bunch of baddies swarming towards us. And a Hydra. So let's pick up this Flaming Scimitar again and finish it off. So since this is layer 6, I'm gonna magic map this to know what's around here. And there's a large portion of water, so this is gonna be the ending for this area. But actually, I'm gonna end this episode here, finish up the lair with the beginning of the next episode. Like I mentioned in the last episode, I really want to try to keep these parts a bit shorter to make them a bit more accessible. And yeah, thanks for watching me here, and I hope you are gonna tune in for part 3 of the adventures of the Formicid Abyssal Knight. See you soon, guys!